Good evening and welcome to the campus of UW-Whitewater. I'm Jake Donoho and alongside me is my co-host Evan Christman. We ask you to please excuse our momentary interruption of sports from your regular daily schedule. Let's get right into it. Tonight's theme is the GOAT special, but that doesn't necessarily mean we'll be talking about the greatest of all time. Some of our topics will include the worst role model, the best gifted talent, the best role model, and so on. I won't spoil the whole episode for you just yet, so Evan, let's start with who you think is the best role model in the sports industry.
Mine is going to be Davante Adams of the Green Bay Packers. He's so many traits, just kind, respectful, shouts out his defenders on Instagram, Twitter, whatever it may be. Whoever's defending in that game saying, good game, you guarded me well, whatever. He donates to charities, and just overall, just a really good guy.
That's a good one right there. Davante Adams is definitely one to look up to. And for me, it's going to be J.J. Watt on the Arizona Cardinals defensive end. He has donated so much money to constant, just any donations that he can. A lot of times, a couple years back when Texas and Louisiana had received a lot of hurricane damage, he started his own funding process for it and ended up donating millions of dollars from many of his fans and stuff like that. He always has time for fans. He's always stopping and high-fiving kids, giving autographs and everything, while also being one of the hardest workers in the NFL. And you can see he's a big guy, definitely puts in the work to be one of the best in the league right now.
Yeah, for sure. You couldn't have said it any better, Jake. For my worst role model, I would have to go with Michigan head coach Juwan Howard. If you don't know who that is, due to last week's incident against Wisconsin, he threw a punch at a Wisconsin assistant in the handshake line after Wisconsin's win over Michigan, and that's just uncalled for. I mean, you don't do that. It was a well-played game. Michigan's just not having the season they thought they would, and Howard even said on Twitter, like, I'm not apologizing, I don't care. It's just like, come on now, just unbelievable.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, Evan. And for my worst role model, it's going to be NBA basketball player Grayson Allen, currently on the Milwaukee Bucks. And throughout his career, he's just been an overall very dirty player, even in college when he played at Duke. At Duke, he was not loved by a lot of the fans simply because he would purposefully try and trip players. He'd be flagranted all the time. And it's just not something that the respectable basketball player likes to see.
Yeah, Grayson Allen definitely one of my top worst role models, and I would say any big name NBA players like Joel Embiid, James Harden, who have been called for flagrant fouls before, maybe doing it on purpose, maybe accident, who knows? You don't do that. I mean, you're just out there to play the game, and you're hacking people on the arm purposely. You're throwing punches. It's like, come on now.
Exactly. Couldn't agree with you more there. And for next up, we will discuss who we think has the most gifted talent in any sport. We will be right back. Please excuse this commercial break.
We'd love to show you what it's like to be a Warhawk.
Come on!
Don't miss out on your chance to be a Warhawk.
At UW-Whitewater.
You belong here.
UWW-TV has been an important part of the campus and community since 1980.
Not only providing on-air learning opportunities for broadcast journalists and electronic media production students,
but educating and entertaining our audiences with award-winning news, live sports coverage, original programming,
as well as dedicating the mission to developing creative collaborations throughout campus.
For more information, visit our website, our 24/7 stream, and like us on Facebook.
Check us out because you got to see what's on UWW-TV.
UW-Whitewater Athletics, a relentless pursuit of excellence across 22 sports, powered by a tradition of success. 20 national championships, 17 since 2002. 61 individual national titles. 24 National Athletes of the Year. 616 All-Americans. 115 Conference Scholar Athletes of the Year. 1,500 community service hours annually. Be a part of the tradition and join the Warhawk family.
Here at UW-Whitewater Intramural Sports, we have a motto: a sport for everyone and everyone in a sport.
kept it anyways. Oh, she got that off. They're going to count it.
Had a blast. Always have fun at intramurals.
Every day we strive to go above and beyond that goal by providing healthy exercise, promoting leisure education, and giving students that competitive atmosphere they are looking for.
Yes. Yes!
It's exciting. Brings me back to those high school days with Friday Night Lights.
With our 25 different intramural sports offered, we guarantee that we have a sport for you. Go to our website and find your sport today.
At the University Bookstore, we have an excellent selection of competitively priced books and classroom necessities for students. We have Warhawk gear ranging from athletic apparel to comfy sweatshirts the whole family can enjoy. The textbook rental service is also available for students to check out their required readings for class. You can also find and order books, apparel, and gift items from our online catalog, located at uwwhitewaterbookstore.com. The University Bookstore. We provide for your college experiences.
Welcome to Jitters Coffee House. Located on the first floor of the Wells Towers, Jitters is a student-run coffee lounge and offers a variety of coffee and ice cream-based drinks and is home to many entertaining programs, including live music, gamer trivia nights, and other performances. Coordinate your activity by emailing jitters@uww.edu. Jitters is completely run by volunteers who can earn service hours and even receive a free drink during their shift. Stop in tonight at Jitters Coffee House, where fun events and community come together.
Welcome back to Please Excuse Our Momentary Interruption of Sports from your regular daily schedule. It's difficult to come by raw talent these days, but that's what makes a player stand out from the rest. Standout players like Fernando Tatis Jr. and Giannis Antetokounmpo of the sports world. Evan, of any sport, who do you think has the most gifted talent?
I would say Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs, for sure. If you all remember in that playoff game against the Bills in the AFC playoffs for the NFL, he beat the Bills on one overtime drive, and he's making passes sideways when falling down. Just athleticism is through the roof.
Yes, definitely. I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. Patrick Mahomes, I also had on my list for that one. Also, Mike Trout of the Los Angeles Angels. He has been, as we stated in another episode, he has stated he is one of the best players in baseball right now, arguably the best. And just like a lot of people, just the injuries that he's been going through has just been a little hurtful to his career. But if he stays healthy, I think he will go down as one of the best of all time. And of course, going back with Patrick Mahomes, you said just that sidearm throw that he's able to do. He sort of just came into the league and brought in almost a new generation of quarterbacks, I think, with this mixture of athleticism. You got guys like Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields now coming into the league, being able to run and throw, something that of the last generations of quarterbacks we haven't really seen.
Yeah, I would kind of disagree with you there. Matthew Stafford, a little bit older than Justin Fields. Patrick Mahomes, like you said, Jake, he can make no-look throws. You saw in the Super Bowl against the Bengals, made a no-look throw, I think, in the third quarter, if I remember correctly. Like stuff like that. He came from the Lions. The Rams and Lions traded QBs when Jared Goff went to the Lions. Just Stafford is unbelievable with his age. He can still make no-look throws. Not necessarily the passes falling down as Mahomes, but he can still get it done.
Definitely, Matthew Stafford has been a superb player, and the reason that he's all of a sudden just come into the spotlight is because I believe he's on a good team now. And you know, the Lions management has just been pretty poor, and they haven't been able to build anything around Matthew Stafford for a long time. You had Calvin Johnson before he retired. I think that if they had a better defense and a couple more offensive players, that they might have gotten a Super Bowl with Stafford and Johnson.
Yeah, unfortunately that didn't happen for the Lions. They have Jared Goff. Now hopefully he can get it going for the Lions in the next couple seasons for them. But I want to go to one of my more improved players for any sport. For football, I'll choose David Bakhtiari for the Green Bay Packers, coming off a couple torn ACLs, and just comes back from that, is playing in the playoffs this year, and just that veteran on the offensive line for the Packers, it was great to see him back.
Definitely. For my most improved player, I'm going to have to go with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, he came into the league already kind of a big top draft prospect, and he's been good so far, really good so far, especially considering his performance last season and everything like that. But I think the last couple of years, he has really stepped up to be a leader for this Bucks team, and it's what we can see in the future as well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Definitely within the first few years of Giannis coming to the Bucks, announcers said, oh, he's just a young kid from Greece, he's this and that, but he's definitely going to be up there for the next coming years.
Most definitely. Next up, we will discuss who our picks for the best coach are. After that, we will discuss our picks for the best underdog team. Please excuse this commercial break.
On. Flip them off. 91.7 WSUW. 91.7 is a student-run radio station serving the Whitewater area with a variety of original programs, live sports broadcasting, community events, and more. So turn us on. 91.7 FM. Or stream us live at 917theedge.com.
UW Whitewater Athletics, a relentless pursuit of excellence across 22 sports, powered by a tradition of success. 20 national championships, 17 since 2002. 61 individual national titles. 24 National Athletes of the Year. 616 All-Americans. 115 Conference Scholar Athletes of the Year. 1,500 community service hours annually. Be a part of the tradition and join the Warhawk family.
As an Army ROTC cadet at Whitewater, you have the opportunity to develop into a great leader while learning and applying the Army values to your everyday life. Within ROTC, you have the chance to travel overseas in the CULP program to train with other militaries, attend many elite Army schools such as Airborne and Combat Diver, and you have the opportunity to attend conferences and guest lectures by some of the Army's top-ranking officers. Our Warhawk cadets participate in many extracurricular activities, Division III sports, Greek life, intramural sports, among many other team building and community service events. Being a cadet at Whitewater is more than just being part of the Army. It's also about being active members in our community and coming together to form a family atmosphere. Anyone who wants to be a part of something bigger than themselves while developing themselves professionally should consider UW Whitewater ROTC. To sign up for UW Whitewater ROTC, go to the 4th floor of McCutcheon Hall to room 417.
Welcome back to Please Excuse Our Momentary Interruption of Sports from Your Regular Daily Schedule. Next, we'll talk about what makes a great coach and who we think is currently the best one out there. Evan, who do you think makes a great coach?
I think personally, punctuality, and what I mean by that, showing up on time, making sure his or her players are healthy, good recruiting, good communication with his players. Good recruiting is very important, whatever sport you're in, tennis, track and field, soccer, football, etc. And just respecting players' different abilities. I mean, everyone has different abilities, and as a coach, you need to respect that and open doors for people to improve.
Definitely, I would agree with you there. I also have a couple pointers of my own. Just being able to get players amped up and have a healthy environment in the locker room, in the dugout, whatever sport you're in. Team morale is so important to be able to win games, especially in team sports. And if you have a coach who knows how to improve that morale and just lead the way on things, it can set you up for success really fast.
That perfectly leads me into my next point, actually. My best coach that I would pick in any sport currently is actually Matt Lewis, who is the Division III UW Oshkosh men's basketball head coach. He's just has good recruiting. He has no guys on his roster, believe this, he has no guys on his roster under 6 foot. They're all above 6 foot, and that's just crazy to me. That's really good recruiting. They've won a couple national championships, and they're on their way to another one if they can beat Platteville.
Oh, most definitely. For my coaches, I'm going to have to go with Spurs head coach Greg Popovich. He has been so good with all of the players that he has worked with, winning a championship a few years back. And just because that he has been there for so long really tells you that the management of the Spurs really trusts him. And you see, even in post-game interviews, if they suffer a bad loss, he is able to just keep his chill and talk about what they could have improved on or what they did wrong and stuff like that. And instead of getting mad like some coaches do, getting flustered, and that's when team morale goes down.
Yeah, I would totally agree with Greg Popovich on that fact. And he's led Team USA in basketball to a couple of gold medals, silver medals in basketball in the Olympics, and that's also a good coach. Good communication, a leader, definitely within the Spurs organization and Team USA, just all over the place, very good coach.
Definitely. Another coach that I would say is also really good would have to be Andy Reid of the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, obviously having a lot of talent on his team, but the fact that he's been able to stay really good and be into the playoffs since Patrick Mahomes got to the Chiefs is really telling something, to say that, yeah, they're winning games, so morale goes up, and he's able to keep the locker room at bay, which is something that can be really hard for some coaches. It's considering, the locker room problems that you hear across the league and everything like that. But as long as you're winning games and morale stays up, you have a really good chance at getting a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The coach that I got, or the coach that I think that got dealt an underwhelming roster but still succeeded, this might surprise you, Jake, but I would say Pete Carroll, head coach of the Seahawks. They've been up and down these past couple of years. They haven't had the best of rosters, but they haven't had the worst. They're kind of floating right around the middle. Obviously, they have Russell Wilson, Bobby Wagner on the defense, Richard Sherman even a couple years ago. But honestly, he still succeeded with some of those rosters.
Most definitely. Next up, we'll give our opinions on who the greatest underdog team to win a championship team is.
What does it mean to be a Warhawk?
It means allowing myself to dream big and think outside the box.
Pushing the limits of what I think is possible.
Seeing ideas through from start to finish.
Collaborating with professors and peers.
And seizing opportunities in the community to put my knowledge to use.
I'm studying abroad,
learning another language,
and listening to the stories of others.
I'm making lifelong friends and fearlessly sharing my gifts with the world.
As a Warhawk, I stay balanced,
take great care of myself,
and get out of my comfort zone.
I refuse to let the past determine my future.
And I'm taking confident steps in the direction of my dreams.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense.
And other times it couldn't be more exciting.
But I will keep my goals in mind
and never quit.
Because
that's the Warhawk way.
Video One Media Services provides accomplished students the opportunity to enhance their college experience by working with real-world clients.
In addition, we provide clients local and affordable video options to better enhance their media needs. For more information on how Video One Media Services can help you with your next media project, email or call our office at 262-472-5659.
UW Whitewater Athletics, a relentless pursuit of excellence across 22 sports, powered by a tradition of success. 20 national championships, 17 since 2002. 61 individual national titles. 24 National Athletes of the Year. 616 All-Americans. 115 Conference Scholar Athletes of the Year. 1,500 community service hours annually. Be a part of the tradition and join the Warhawk family.
Welcome to the University Bookstore. The University Bookstore provides students with the opportunity to purchase apparel, gift items, textbooks, snacks, supplies, and other necessities right here on campus. The bookstore is also home to textbook rental, where you can find many of your required textbooks. Our friendly staff always goes the extra mile to provide customers with a quick and pleasant experience. Visit the bookstore today to find great deals on everything you need to succeed as a Warhawk.
There have been some amazing teams throughout the history of sports, but sometimes it's unexpected when an underdog team grinds to the top of success. There have been many examples throughout sports history. Evan, who is your pick?
I'm going to have to go with the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles of last year's NCAA tournament. Or actually 2019, I should say, because 2020 got canceled. If you all remember, Oral Roberts beat the 2-seed Ohio State, Florida, on their way to the Sweet 16, but eventually lost to Arkansas. I don't think many people were expecting that, to be honest. Many people are a fan of Oral Roberts now because they made it that far, but definitely not the teams they lost to.
Most definitely, I would agree with that, but my number one pick has got to be the 2019 Washington Nationals World Series team. Now, this was a team that was under 500 at the All-Star break that very summer in 2019, and eventually found their way into that last wild card spot and just absolutely ignited a spark and turned on in the playoffs that year. They had in the World Series, it was an absolute blast to watch with Anthony Rendon and Howie Kendrick before his retirement being an absolutely amazing player turning on in the playoffs. A lot of times, you know, in baseball, when you see like in 2018 with the Red Sox, it was Steve Pearce. And Steve Pearce, you know, just overall is not a star player, but somehow was just playing like a Hall of Famer in the playoffs that year. And that's how it was for Howie Kendrick. Steven Strasburg, of course, led the way with his pitching there, and it was just so fun to watch to see this team, who nobody thought would have made it to the World Series, get some stardom going.
Yeah, talk about a turnaround story. For my underdog team to win a championship, I'm going to focus on the NCAA tournament here. This year, currently, the South Dakota State Jackrabbits find themselves at a 13 seed coming into the latest bracketology now. They're 27-4 overall. They just beat Oral Roberts 106-102 in overtime in that thriller, and they're 17-0 in conference. This team is definitely an underdog case for the tournament, and watch out if they move on for a couple rounds.
For my current underdog team, I'm going to have to go with the Chicago Bears, having all new management coming into this season. Justin Fields entering his second year, Khalil Mack still on the team as well. The only mystery right now is Allen Robinson on whether he will stay for this year or not, one of their star wide receivers. And it's for the Bears, they struggled with Matt Nagy. Nagy's out of there. Ryan Pace, general manager's out of there. All new guys coming in, and it's just a fresh start for them. And I think for the future, it's looking bright.
Couldn't agree more. That Bears organization is definitely going to be good in years to come.
That will do it for us here tonight. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time to hear more hot takes all around the world of sports. This has been, please excuse our momentary interruption of sports from your regular daily schedule on UWW TV.